just kind of like latch on, suck that sap. Ugh, it makes me feel like a little bit sweaty, but oh my gosh, it is so pretty. Wild. Ugh, you've got me. I'm nervous. We are kicking off the summer garden with a real shebang. I don't know if that's an actual word with a real definition, but in my case, I'm talking about a shadowed bang. Like the garden it's booming, it's banging, things are starting to bloom, but there's a little bit of a darkness creeping in. Regarding one of my favorite flowers from last year, we're like 3-4 days into summer and it's already a real doozy. But we're gonna circle back to that, okay? Because I don't wanna bum all of us out right off the bat. I mean, what fun would that be? So let's talk beauty first and kind of what's been changing since my last update that I did for like early spring, kind of that April, May garden update, because I said it then and I'll say it again. It absolutely blows my mind how much change happens in such a short amount of time. Some of my plants have like tripled, quadrupled in size. It's amazing. It's magical. I absolutely love the beginning of the year when all these plants are just starting to like kind of take off. So the biggest change in my garden is that my peonies are pretty much done blooming for the year. They put on a like proper solid show for about 6 weeks. So if you've kind of been here for a little bit and you've been following along, you know that I have not let my peonies bloom the last 2 years. I bought them and then I've just been snipping off their buds every year, trying to help them develop like really strong root systems instead of sending energies like to blooming. I wanted them to really like be strong plants. So this is the first year that I got to see them bloom, and oh, it was so worth the wait completely. It was so magical, so beautiful. They smelled so delicious. It was such a great time. And it was really nice because they didn't all bloom at once, which I think we had kind of a 6 weeks, 7 weeks, somewhere in there where they like started blooming and then they're sort of fading. I don't think I did that on purpose, if I'm being honest. I remember when I was buying them that I was looking at like that they had different bloom times. So I mean, I guess I can kind of give myself props for that, even though I don't think it was completely intentional that they all kind of started taking off at different times, but it was really cool. And it was nice to just have them like last a little bit longer. So yeah, it was definitely worth the wait. I do recommend if you are just getting into like planting peonies and you have like really small plants, or if you're doing like the bare root peonies, I personally have no regrets. I definitely recommend kind of snipping those buds off for like the first year, at least 2 years, if you have the patience to kind of wait to see those flowers bloom. It was a very difficult wait for me, but you know, we made it through. My plants are very healthy. They are some voluptuous ladies, okay? And while that is amazing, if you saw my video talking about my favorite perennials, I mentioned that in between my peony plants, I planted my echinacea, and that may someday be a mistake. And I think that mistake is starting to catch up with me because you don't even really see the echinacea in the beds right now. And the echinacea is kind of like hidden amongst the shadows. So I don't know if that is gonna be something that I'll have to tackle. Maybe in the fall, I might have to move my echinacea, but I don't know where I'm gonna put it. I'll just kind of see how everything does this summer and just sort of go from there. So I do have a few first like summer flower blooms. My cosmos are still kind of like little shorty guys, but they're producing some like really beautiful flowers. This is the first year that I've planted different varieties than I normally plant. So I'm kind of holding my breath on that one and seeing how they grow, how they produce. So far, the flowers are gorgeous. They're all like double click mixes, which for sure are like my favorite. The double cosmos, I absolutely love. I didn't plant any of the Rubenza cosmos. I'm hoping I don't regret that. I might honestly just go out and like throw some seeds in different places in the yard just so that maybe they'll like pop up a little late, because it's not super hot out yet. The weather keeps like kind of going up and then going back down, and so I think there's still time, you know? Maybe I'll do that. I don't know. Anyways, the cosmos have started to bloom. I have some different varieties of like flowering tobacco. I have this one variety that is like a creamy white color, and the flower, the plants itself are just like huge. They're so big. I think it's called grandiflora. I'm usually not very good at names of flowers, so I'll just like throw it up here somewhere so you can see it. But that's one that I'm growing, and it's already blooming. And then I also have the variety, I think it's like Screamin' Peach. It's smaller right now, you guys, but oh my gosh, it is so, so pretty. You know, if you've been here a minute, I love a good peach. So I'm very excited about both of these different varieties. Every year I do try out different varieties for my cut flower garden, so that when I do like cut bouquets and I sell those, I kind of am like gaining an understanding of what works best for me, what grows best for me, what I can put together, all the things. So last year I tried out Love in a Mist, Forget-Me-Nots, and Bee Balm for the cut garden. And this year I am not trialing very many things. I have the flowering tobacco, oh, and the agrostemma. I think that's it. So yeah, just flowering tobacco and agrostemma. It feels weird that I'm only mentioning two, but I think that that is actually right. Oh, I do have some salvia too that I'm kind of trying out this year. So those three, and we'll kind of, you know, see how it goes. But the flowering tobacco is super pretty. I'm really excited. It's already blooming. So I'm excited to kind of see how that moves forward. And then I have a few things that are getting like really, really close to blooming. My dahlias are like nice and tall and healthy looking, and there's just like loads of buds all over them. I cannot wait for them to start blooming. The dahlias are always one of my favorite things in the garden, so yes, I'm very excited for those. My bee balm is getting pretty close to blooming, which is exciting because I know last year in my like yearly wrap up, I talked about how the bee balm in my cut garden like bloomed so late. I think it didn't start blooming until like August, which we have bee balm in different areas of the garden and it usually blooms like pretty early. So I was surprised by that, but I think it's just because it was kind of like establishing itself in that area. So this year it's already been there. It came back from last year. So it's like, it's already so tall, and I think it's just gonna go off any day now. It's also like only a matter of time before my pincushion flowers and my scabiosa starts blooming. I'm so excited about that. These guys right here that are ready to bloom, they came back from last year or the year before. I can't remember. I don't actually think I planted any last year, so I think they came back from the year before, which is great, you know? I'm happy to see it. They're about to bloom. I love them, so only good things with that. Remember earlier when I mentioned that like shadow of darkness? I know at times I can have a flair for the dramatics, but my yarrow has aphids on it, which is wild, you guys, okay? Yarrow is known for being pest resistant. That's its thing. That's what it does. It attracts all of those like beneficial predatory insects that keep the pests away. Bad bugs stay away because the good bugs are already living in it. But me and my yarrow, this early in the year, full of aphids. Not like full, But it has like a good amount of aphids right now. I'm out of breath. I know that I sound like I'm freaking out. I am. Yeah. You've got me. I'm nervous. These like sneaky little buggers are just covering a lot of the stems of my yarrow. And I'm feeling like a little bit sweaty thinking about it and like a lot anxious. Every time I go out and look at them, which is often because I'm slightly obsessed. Remember how I said I could like stare at bees for hours? I can do the same with the aphids, which is impressive because they don't really move much. Kind of like latch on, suck that sap. The only glimmer of hope that brings me this like sense of comfort is that while there are a lot of aphids on my yarrow, there's also so many ladybugs and ladybug larvae in my yarrow. And that's pretty huge because for every like stem that you see that's like covered in aphids, there's also one that's been like completely cleared off. Ladybugs and ladybug larvae, they can eat up to 50 aphids a day. And that's just like dependent on, how much food is available to them. But also, I mean, there's just like so many fascinating components to this little aphid conundrum that I find myself in. Okay, like I've grown yarrow in the past, but never to this like extent. And by that I mean I've never grown this much yarrow in a dedicated space, so densely, how do I describe this? I've never grown this much yarrow in one space before, is what I'm trying to say. Usually we grow them in different like pots and different like small areas of the garden, but never like a whole, bed dedicated to like cutting it. So that's a new thing for me. And then to have the aphids this early and this hungry, and they're green aphids, which I know doesn't matter, okay? I know so many people, you're gonna watch this and be like, hey dummy, aphids come in so many different colors. Like, what are you talking about? They're everywhere. I never get different colored aphids in my garden. They're always those squishy little black ones. And they're usually on my dahlias. I don't really get them on other plants. So, fascinating. What are they doing there? All these new little ladybug larvae. Are they gonna take care of the problem for me? So yeah, I'm a little bit anxious and a little bit excited. It's like a dangerous intrigue. The very like scared, nervous part of me wants to go out there and just squish them, just get them out of there, hose them off, which never works for me. That never works for me. When you hose off aphids, does that work for you? I don't know who's successful with the hose and their aphid problem. It's not me. So yeah, part of me wants to just like get them out of there. But the other part of me, the like insect observer, the like curiosity inside of this cat, I just want to like leave them and see how this showdown with the ladybugs turns out. Will they balance out and not be a huge problem? Will I have to pull all of my beloved yarrow out of my garden and plant something else? Will the aphids spread and multiply and just suck the life out of my garden and my happiness? I mean, stay tuned for my July update. It might be full of angst. But that is all I have for you today. I'm sorry to leave this on kind of an awkward tone, I guess that's just where I am. I'm feeling a little bit awkward. I'm in a new space because I'm house sitting. I haven't really been recording very much because I've been in the middle of like remodeling my new home and like moving and all the things. So I'm excited to like sit down and talk to you guys and talk about my garden, and there's so many things changing. And I just get like out of breath and excited and dramatic and I'm sorry. But I would love to hear how your garden is going. Let me know if you have any garden enemies right now, if they're cute like the deer or soul crushing like aphids or something worse than that. I feel like I don't always deal with pests in my garden. I'm like kind of lucky on that spectrum. So let me know how things are going for you, and thank you so much for being here, and I will see you guys in the next one.